Hi, I'm Mike of Nearly Enough Dice, and this is the Kerbal Space Program. I was about to start off with a bit of a I am very grumpy for the following reasons kind of thing, but I'm actually not that grumpy, it turns out. Basically, I was midway through doing an episode in which I had decided to finally launch the Athena I station. Oops. And then my antivirus had recently upgraded all its definitions, and that's all very lovely. But it decided that it needed to reboot, and I told it, no, no thanks, I'll reboot when I want to. And obviously, it's not going to be content with that, because why would it be? So I was in the middle of doing an episode, and suddenly this little box came up and just went away immediately. And I believe I was in the middle of typing in COS or something along those. Yes, that's what I was doing. And it's gone back to calling itself the refueler, which is good. That's what it should do. I thought I was going to have to rename this whole thing, because very often when you dock things and then undock them, they can take the name of the thing that they were docked to. But it didn't, so that's fine. So here I am with the Athena station. Anyway, so this very briefly this box came up and went away immediately. And now is it saying, oh, you're typing. Oh, clearly the thing you're typing means you want me to reboot right now. And so I rebooted, and I was slightly grumpy. I would have been more grumpy had it's actually the game hadn't saved. So I'm actually just back to where I was at the beginning of holy ball. Right. I was about to do something very clever. I'm not going to do it. So I'm basically back before I even started doing anything. So in fact, everything's fine. Turn on my RCN. You're going to move it all? You're going to move very slowly. Turn off that. Turn that more. Go-wee! You go as well. Go-wee. Thank you. I was going to do something clever and set up like a maneuver node and stuff, but I'm basically at the point where I should be burning more or less now. So I'm just going to do that. So I'm going to wait for it to get to... I'll turn off the alarm clock for a second as well. I'm going to wait for it to get pointing. Might take a while. The RCS is going all over the place, so that's alright. So you're supposed to go when the moon is just over the horizon, so it's maybe a little early, in fact. Well, maybe I'm a bit late. Maybe I want to come back here and do. So I'll do that. And I'm also going to use COS to tell me how long the maneuver should be. I'm not sure whether I'm going to use the node follower directly. Oh, and I'm in caps lock mode. I'm still in caps lock mode. Calc ISP. Oh, it doesn't think about any ISP. Why is that? That's aggravating. It should. Oh, it's because it's using. It doesn't know what stage I'm on, and it doesn't know what stage this engine's. Well, it does know what stage this engine is, but that's actually irrelevant. Grr. My cunning code is too cunning. It should really just go through all engines that don't have an ISP of 0. I'm just wanting to calculate the burn time, you see. Well, you know, I'm gonna have to go around anyway because I might as well just do a prograde burn and just wait till I get to where I want to get to. So I can fiddle with that later. So, bring back the alarm clock. Goodbye, costs. Add alarm. Give me a minute. I don't know how long it's going to take to get there. Maybe my next parking orbit should be over 120 kilometers, because that way I don't have to wait quite too long. Yeah, so this is me deciding to finally test the Athena station and see if I can at least get it into orbit of the moon. I had a bit of a thing. I wasn't quite sure what was going on, because here's the actual mission: build a new orbital station around the moon. You know, build a new station that has, you know, power antenna and docking port. Have facility supporting at least 5 Kerbals, maintain stability. So the only thing I haven't done is put in orbit of the moon. But I was running other missions, and every time I checked this, the have facility supporting at least 5 Kerbals did not come up. And I was worried that was a problem. But it looks like it was in fact only because I was running something other than the Athena station. It looks like if I'm going to do Minmus, I must have taken the Minmus station mission. I must have taken that after I actually launched Athena I, which is only I didn't think I had. I thought I'd taken it beforehand. But clearly, this station does not. Athena I does not count as a station. Oh, it doesn't count as a new station that's been launched. Oh well. Yeah. So it doesn't count as a new station that's been launched. Never mind. I'll just have to build another one. Possibly I might be able to cheat and just attach a new thing to this thing, and then it'll be a new station. Stuff like that's been happening. So I was actually worried that I was going to have to launch a whole new station, because the moon mission was saying that I didn't have a facility supporting the right number of Kerbals, so it's in fact all good. Don't really need that maneuver node. I'm just really using it as a placeholder for when I should go. So I might as well actually just find Athena I, find the horizon, and kind of walk round. I'm going to quickly check to see if I can see the refueler. There it is, way back there. It's 4 clicks away. And there's my launcher, which I should really decide what I'm going to do with it. So now I am going to wait until I'm pointing. Going to get rid of the maneuver node completely. Okay, first things first, I'm not falling apart, which is somewhat pleasant. I've discovered a new thing. If you click on, sometimes, yeah, if you click on the thing for the apoapsis or the periapsis, it'll actually stick around, which I did not know before. So all those times I said, I wish I could just keep on seeing it. Turns out there was an easy way of doing it. It can get a bit fiddly sometimes. It doesn't seem to always work. But it's working now, and that's the main thing. Now I have no idea how long this burn is going to take. So I'm just going to keep going until I get some kind of something. Let's bring up the engineer, civil engineer, and then make that picture right there. Oh wait! Okay. Let's get rid of everything. Ooh, okay, let's get rid of that. Right. Dupe. Thrust. Thrust to weight ratio 0.73. This is not a problem in space. Not a problem at all. It just means it's going to take a while. When it says what its delta V is, I have no idea if it's just taking that as the delta V, or if it's counting those engines as delta V. I genuinely have no clue. If this is anything like my probes, it's getting a bit dark. This is going to be a bit late. I normally try and release these at a particular time, which is 8 o'clock local. Going to be a bit late today because it's actually 7:30. Some of that was my fault. I was just playing around with my PID hoverbot, but I didn't get that into a state where I could turn it into some kind of video. And then suddenly I realized how late it was and I should really do something. And then I thought, well, what can I do? And this is really pretty much the only thing I can do. So this is the bit admittedly, I'm a bit worried about this, simply because this is literally the first time this is being tested. I genuinely, up until this point, had no idea whether or not it would work at all. Of the bits that are to do with this, this is the bit I'm most confident in that it's pushing and not pulling, whereas these engines here on the side, I have really no clue what they're going to do when they get there. They look like they're pointing in slightly, and they look aligned, and if they're out by at most like a fraction of a degree, so they look all right. They look like they're pointing in a bit, which is not necessarily brilliant. But I have no idea how much they're going to wobble. I have no idea if both docking ports are actually locked on. There's just so many things I don't know. I could really do with getting the cable attachment system, maybe, because I've seen the Scott Manley videos. And just being able to get out of the spacecraft, lock things together with struts. That just seems like a smart thing to do. So there's going to be quite a bit of a burn. Yeah. Other things I wish I'd known. Apparently, you can connect docking ports to any old thing. If you connect a docking port to something, you can decouple, but you can't recouple. So actually, there would have been awesome ways of all sorts of clever things I could have done when I was getting my boosters up. The back end of the Athena station, basically, it's got a stack separator. I hope it's not pointing the wrong way. Got a stack separator and then this triple thing and then that, and maybe I could have just shoved that whole thing right on the back there. I'm going to be dumping that whole back end, and maybe there could have been cleverer things I could have done with it. Yeah. I'm also not convinced I have enough parachutes on the science section for when I drop out of the atmosphere. In fact, I almost certainly do not have enough parachutes when I drop screaming out of the atmosphere. I've only got the 4 plus some on the command module, so I'm very tempted to, in fact, not go straight for a re-entry and actually hit orbit, and then get the refueler over and give it some more juice. Possibly launching making sure those side boosters are nice and full. But that's way in the future. That's enormously in the future. I have to get to the moon first. That's the main thing. So this burn's been going on for quite some time. But, this isn't a race, The only races I've got, I'm trying to get, whether I'm going to get to Jewel and Duna and Dres and Eve and stuff. So I need to start thinking about Jewel. What I'm going to send. Am I going to send some great big multiple probe Scott Manley-esque beast? We have ourselves an encounter. Sweet. So quite a long one. That's pretty good. Okay. So I'm gonna switch to the moon. You don't actually have to click on the moon itself, which is a good... Oh, that's kind of bad. That's not so much an encounter as smashing into it. Right. Right, okay, so I want to do the opposite of what I just did. So let's go retrograde. Which is going to take a little while. The other possibility is to just do a burn here, kind of midway-ish. Wait a minute. That shouldn't be changing. Oh yeah, it's changing because because the whole thing's slightly wobbly. It doesn't necessarily know which way I'm pointing. Yeah, this is slightly more of an intimate encounter than I particularly want. If I was more confident in my landing script, I could go, yeah, fine. Burn for whatever. I'm not sure that's doing what I want either. Let's try a few things. Specifically, let's see if I can add a maneuver node. So that's going, and we're going to be going that way, which is not what I want. Maybe I do want it. Yeah, maybe I do want to keep going this way. Oh, I just lost my encounter. Let's delete that. Right. This is going to fail, isn't it? As I just worked out, didn't I? That's not going to work. Because my thing is stupid. Right, I've lost my encounter, so I need to go back to... So lots of monopop, that's what I was worried about. What about maybe I was going to lose some monopop? Problem with relying too much on scripts. Obviously a bit of an issue. Also, another thing is I've accidentally brought Jebediah on board, which I actually didn't want to do, because Jebediah's been to the moon. He's not going to get any more XP. So there's a body on this thing that doesn't need the XP. So I could have sent somebody else and got more XP. Now it doesn't mean that I can follow all these things if I want to, but to be honest, I don't really need to. Right, have I now got... hell's bells. I'm probably fiddling with this at the wrong end. In fact, I'm fiddling with it at the wrong end. Let's just wait till the maneuver node happens. And then I think we're going to have more options. So I'm going to add an alarm for the maneuver node. We'll walk there. I love Kerbal Alarm Clock, it's the best. It's getting very dark. Let's turn on these lights. I've got some more lights I can put on instead, but I'll... probably helping do that. Never mind. So we're going to just go into Stability Assist. Because even though Jebediah is the bestest of my pilots, that is in fact not helping. Even though Jebediah is the bestest of my pilots, he cannot he is not capable of holding to a maneuver node. I could get Cost to do it, that would be slightly cheating. Well, it'll feel slightly more cheating than normal. If I'm not doing the whole thing with Cost, then you know, feels a bit off. Yeah, come on, come on, come on. Also realizing I have no clue how long the burn is going to be. Surprised that the game doesn't know. This is being a pain in the bottom. Why didn't I put a million reaction wheels on this thing? Other possibility is that really I just wait till I get a lot closer and then I start doing a central burn around here or something. Oh, come on, you can do it. You can do it. I just thought of something. I'm an idiot. Do you know what I am? I'm an idiot. So I can just go, hey you, what's your You got 390 ISP. So there you go. Of course, there is a problem, which is that a lot of when these locked steering things happen, yeah. Even if you're quite close, very often it seems to need to go away and then turn back again, and I don't know why, but never mind. I wonder what that did. So I may have to set up another maneuver node later on. Ugh. This is going brilliantly. Oh no, wait, it isn't. Now, what's that do? That does not do what I want it to do. That does. Excellent. That is 13 minutes away. And that is going to take a few seconds. So basically, if I sit here and let it get itself to where it wants to be, everything's going to be brilliant. I was a bit worried there for a second because it suddenly got rid of the little blue arrow showing you where the maneuver node is, and I thought, what? But all it was actually doing was because the blue node was close enough that it effectively felt that he was showing it on the nav. Come on. Now, yeah, the particular advantage of using my Xnode program is that it will calculate the burn time even when the game itself does not know what the burn time is, which is very much an advantage in my current situation. Let's get rid of that again. Get rid of it, go away, thank you. And I want to look at my fuel situation from stage. It doesn't know what stage I'm on. Lovely. That's because I've been adding things to this thing and taking stuff away, and I don't think I can change. Oh, I can change the staging, I guess. Maybe I should change the staging. Maybe that would be a clever thing to do. Move that there. And how about we move the engine that I actually wanted to move and not some other engine that I didn't want to move. We'll put that engine and that engine. They will go into a stage. That's going to go into its own stage. And that's going to go underneath all of that lot. And then I've got like 5 parachutes at the other end. Still more settling to do. Move that around. And that's going to give me a periaps of 15k, 15 kilometers, and that's just going to have to do. And I'll work out other things to do when I get there. Well, at least this stage of Athena is working reasonably well. As I said before, this is probably the easiest bit because I'm just pushing. So long as there's any kind of contact, it should be okay. The question is when those side engines start to run, because they are really, I know that they're attached at the top, they may not be attached at the bottom. So I don't know what they're going to do. And there are a lot of different possibilities, not all of them nice. And I have no contingencies for the folk in the science bay. And if I was a clever person, what I would have done is I would have sent that completely unmanned. The command module would be manned, and the science bit would be unmanned, and I would ferry crew there once I knew the whole thing worked. But hey, maybe this is what I'm going to do for Athena 2. Oh my lord, is this still not? Wow, this is maybe. This might be my punishment for relying on what's called cooked control, which is in Chaos, where you lock steering to a heading, because that really is taking over an autopilot function, if you think about it. Especially when I can lock to maneuver nodes, where my most experienced pilot cannot lock to maneuver nodes. I'm gonna engage SAS there. No, that didn't help. What I'm gonna do? Control from that point there, so I should hopefully get a little less wobble. I'm not out of monopropeller, which is my worry. It just seems to be oscillating rather than actually finding itself pointing where I want it to point. Oh, I wish I had put more reaction wheels on this thing. Like a big stack of the buggers. It's all very graceful, but yeah, come on. Get yourself in order, man. Where's the sun? Oh, there's Kevin. So I'm pointing retrograde. Well, mostly retrograde. My maneuver node is pretty retrograde. That's deeply worrying that that's going up. I wonder if this is again the issue that when you're doing these kinds of corrections, the actual correction itself might be fiddling with your velocity enough, so you're not just turning around, you're actually speeding up or slowing down. Come on, you can do it. Resisting the temptation to just hit time warp, because that would freeze it and would kill a lot of the velocity, a lot of the angular momentum. Yeah. I'm writing down Athena II reaction wheels. The other advantage with Athena 2 is a thing I'm going to be able to do with Athena 2 that I've not been able to do with Athena 1 is that I have upgraded my VAB and my launch pad fully, which I hadn't done before. When I first launched Athena 1, I just didn't have the capacity to launch the whole thing, so I had to do orbital construction. Whereas I now do have a fully upgraded VAB and a fully upgraded landing pad, so I therefore can just launch great big huge things into orbit. So I have no particular reason to not just launch Athena 2 as a complete unit and not muck about in orbit at all. The only thing I might want to do is give it some kind of station capacity, docking ports and such, so that I can refuel it and move people about and temporarily make into a station. And if I'm going to do the plan, the orbiting station plan rather than the base plan, I'm obviously going to want to. Oh, this is taking forever. Come on, I'm going to cheat. I don't care anymore. Right, now that I've cheated, I'm going to add a 10-second alarm, so I can cheat in style. Yeah, anyway, so I'm going to need a docking port. If I'm going to do the orbiting base version of the science station, then I'm going to want a docking port so the various rovers can get back and up and down. But the idea being, at the very least, the side boosters would be just attached. They wouldn't be locked on with docking ports. They would just be part of the machine as a whole. I'm reasonably pleased with the transfer stage. That seems to have worked alright. So I'm pretty pleased with that. It's all, the question is the boosters. So if I do feel the need to dock on an auxiliary landing station, that's fine. Yeah, I thought that might happen. So I'm just using the fact that I'm pointed more or less in the right place. I'm just going to do this manually. Now that it's claiming I've lost my account again. I'm not sure that can't be right. It may be as simple as so aggravating. It may be as simple as it just not being quite sure. The predictions may be off rather than anything else. Oh, it's so picky. Well, this has been going on for quite some time. Now, the problem is, it's going to be late enough as it is. If I'm going to try and speed things, I'm just going to. I don't want to miss an episode. I really don't. So it's going to be a little late. So I'm just going to call it here for the moment. Yeah. Not sure I should ask you to hit like and subscribe. This video has been a bit of a mess, and I just don't have the ability right now to make any changes. This is all a bit squishy, and for some reason, everything's really not really working. Anyway. Do hop along to nearlyenoughdice.com if you're interested in role-playing game, team podcast, and blog. And I will hopefully try and get some kind of maneuver sorted, and then we can see what we will see. But at the moment, it's all a bit scary, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get to the moon at all. So this may well be maybe that there's a very famous quote which is you should always reach for the stars. You should always shoot for the moon. You should always shoot for the moon, because if you fail, at least you'll end up amongst the stars. And I think that's pretty much what's going to be happening. So that's what we're going to do. So now our maneuver node's running away. Come back, maneuver node. I've been Mike of Nearly Enough Dice. Reach for the stars.